Harris probably looked at a candidate like Walz and said, this is someone who's been through the electoral ringer, who has shown that he can handle the pressure of an intense campaign, and who's had everything that both the right and the left in terms of his primary challenger in 2018 can throw at him. And has come through, relatively unscathed. Just not to say that, there aren't things that they'll throw at him, but there are probably many fewer. There's less of a chance of there being unknown things than there are with a less experienced candidate like Shapiro. Walz and Harris can bond over having a one vote majority in the Senate. In Walz's case, it was the state Senate, and it is remarkable, I think, how much the Democrats here, or the Democratic Farmer Labor Party in Minnesota, got passed with just one state Senate vote, and that state Senate vote from a relatively rural district that won by about 500 votes. So pretty narrow margin, and they passed a lot of stuff that I think is generally pretty popular, but is definitely a progressive vision for how government should operate. So two that stand out, we have now recreational marijuana legalization, the paid family and sick leave that Walz and the DFLers in the state legislature got through, some gun laws, and so I think all that are sort of progressive accomplishments that Walz can point to as I'm someone who can get something done, that I can deliver on these policy promises. It is true too, though, that before that, Walz really had a much more moderate image. He was seen as the moderate, sort of the moderate sellout choice in the 2018 election by progressives who rallied really hard behind his more progressive opponent, Aaron Murphy. And before that, he represented a pretty red-tinged congressional district for 12 years. So he has that background of having this more moderate image, more moderate policy positions. And I think he'll probably try to draw on that to paint a picture of himself, and the Harris campaign will draw on that to paint a picture of Walz as sort of sensible, moderate Midwestern. So I think it'll be interesting to see how much the Walz-Harris campaign puts a focus on, this is Tim Walz. He was a red district congressman for 12 years, governor, who brought people together. Versus probably more of the emphasis of the Trump campaign on he pushed through all of this progressive legislation. He increased the size of the state spending by a significant margin over the last 2 years. And we don't see a ton of evidence of regional effects. So people talk about Tim Walz, the Midwesterner. But Tim Walz is a Minnesotan. No one in Wisconsin or Michigan has voted for him. They don't have any particular reason to know who he is any more than a voter in Nebraska or Arizona. And so I think any expectation that he'll have some kind of a home region boost is probably overstated. So in going with Walz, you were giving up on the sort of immediate electoral benefits that might have come from picking someone like Mark Kelly or Josh Shapiro.